Just woke up. Somehow I was in the country, my grandparents' house, years and years ago when the house was standing. Funny how when they sold the farm, the first thing they did was knock down the house. They saved the house down the street that was 80 years old, but they knocked down my grandparents' house in living conditions. We were about to go to Mars or the moon, and I was really nervous. It was like in an old space capsule, and it was so small that you couldn't do anything more than sit for 24 hours. And when the machine stopped working and wouldn't start, I was so happy I didn't want to go because I don't want to be cramped up and tied down. What I did want to show people is something that Donna mentioned the other day. Everybody's talking of the keyhole. Well, if you ever take a look, the keyhole has two sides. In order to make the round in one element, you have to bend it against the round and pull these two sides together. When you pull them together, you can see it shapes a 5 and it shapes a 2. At the same time, take a look. It shapes an R and it shapes an S. The A letter is right here. Once you put in the key and turn it, okay, on both sides, it'll reflect each other. It'll now make your A. Enter and do not enter is what it says. The other thing I was working on was, in French, below 100, you will repeat 19 3 times, equals 57. If you multiply 57 by 21, it becomes 1197. But what I've also taken notice, that if you ever notice, the minute you get into the 20 section, your first number becomes a 0 in the second row. So because your 0 becomes a 0 in the second row, its value in the 1 section has been crossed out because it's already been valued 1 section above it. So above it, the hobbit, the hoppit, hoppity rabbit. Okay, so now that it's 1 section above, what you'll do to the end of the multiplication of 1197, take 11 and go 1 and 1 is 2. The other thing is, how did we get there? Okay, I was looking at something else on how we got there. Now I wanted to mention something else that no matter what you do, everything needs a connection of some sort. And one of the biggest things to fill the connection is sometimes a V. If I take this V, okay, and I pull this V, if I take a V like this, and I need to make it go between 2 spaces, and I make it go between here, and then open up the V, there's no way it can go any further. All it can do is spread open and bend over its wings till it can't go at all. Now the U is something different. We were talking about 19. 21 by 19 is 1197, and 19 by 19, okay, is 361. It's 360 plus the 1 day to go around and the 3 to reconnect. 1, 2, 3. 1 on this side, 1 on this side, and this connects this side. I pull this out, and now there's a separation. We do this like this because everything overlaps and ties, like a twist tie. You don't put a twist tie here, it'll never connect. You'll put it close and you'll start twisting it. It'll eventually end up like this. The other thing I wanted to mention was, I'm going to look at this here, is that 1083, if I went, okay, and I multiplied 19 times 57, because 57 is the whole of 19, 3 times 19 is 57. In French, 19 is explainable 3 times, almost like the alphabet in French is actually taken apart, and they go 19 saying 19, and they say it again when they reach 60. So what you have to do to the number line is take away the first 19, then add up 20 all the way until you get to 59, and then add up 60 all the way until you get to 79, and then add up 80 all the way till you get to 99, because in French, inside the 0 to 19, it'll say 10, then it'll say 9. Or it'll say 10, then it'll say 8. Then it'll say 10, then it'll say 7. Say 10, say 10, Satan. Satan living in the 0 to 19 world, as he lives in the 60 to 79 world, as he lives in the 80 to 99 world. But everything gets broken apart. It's all 10, 10, 10, 10. Or, when you come to 80, you actually get an X and an L. You get the X and L for Roman numerals. The X is valued at 24. The L is valued at 12 equals 36. And there you are, half of your creation. Why half? Because it takes 72 times 5 degrees to go all the way around to create 360 degrees. So we're no longer at a regular 360 degrees. It now takes 72 parts. Then you have to multiply that by 10. It means 720. And you do it in the totality of the day, it becomes the minute, and there's 1,440 minutes in the day. So you're now to go around completely into one circle is no longer 360, it's 1,440, 720 and 720. But some part, somehow, somewhere, okay, has been duplicated, and it would be actually 1,080, but we're going to go on the full turn of 1440. So it takes 4 times to go around to create one day. When we're running 24 hours, well, that's 4 days. So Jean Ray for making me think for a year, now that it's about a year and a couple of days later, that's one of the reasons. The other reason is because this book got turned once. This book got turned twice. Now it's standing completely upside down. If all your cells flipped over on itself, they'd all be in the same position. They'd just be a different coordinate cell. This one would be upside down. So you have to turn everything. The minute you turn something one full way, and how do I know one full way? Because when I get onto my site and it says, what do you want to do with the picture? I go, I want to turn it to the right. So I turn it to the right, and all it does is this. It doesn't turn it all the way around. It only turns you one angle towards the right. So that way everything becomes 4 days. So therefore, not only that, that would mean every 40 years you're only 10 days old. Now in my old scenario, you're 40 years old plus 1. 1 is for the mind. Okay? 40 plus 1. It also has to do with the dice cube. The best dice cube to ever look at is the number 5. It has 4 all around and 1 in the center. The 6 is empty. The 6 has no light. The 6 is nothing. The 6 is dead. The 6 only comes to life when it has the one spirit within its heart, and it comes to the living world. When you turn that 1 in 4 directions the same way, by 6 is 24, plus 4 for the single light. But in all actuality, it's in each individuality, the single light is in its own. But anyways, regardless of the fact that we were talking about 57, okay, times 21, and 57 times 19. 57 times 19 is 1,083. Since it reflects it 3 times in French, 19, 79, and 99, okay, the actual amount of 1,083 divided by 3 is 361. 19 times 19 equals 361. We have a full moon cycle, and that is what time is all about. There's no way I can be wrong because it's the numbers. When you take 57 and you bring it into the 1010 world, you have 53 or 35, which is a reflection, okay, of 7 and 5. 7 and 3, 5 and 5 brings the 1010 world, and 110 stories of the Twin Towers came down. So we're still going in here. We still have 57. Now to bring 57 to the 100, we now have 3 and 4. Okay, 34 or 43 and 57 is 100. 4 and 3 creates and is the only number. 13 creates 43. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3. 3 times 4, 3 plus 3 equals 12 and 7. 12 is 1 and 2 is 3 plus 7 equals the number 37, which this gentleman is talking about on his page. It's just amazing. I don't know whose page this is, alternative something, but everything he's done on his page is incredible. Even when he writes R-E, and then in the middle is a C, just because I see the way I see it as Rael. Rael. -1 times 1. But don't -1 times 1, it's 9. 1 is 9, 9 is 1. The Raphael theory of the swastika. Oh, and he's got beautiful, beautiful stuff designed. Very, very smart. He's made grids all over the places. He's got them all perfectly calculated. But what I was going to show you and tell you is the U. We started with the cards, and I don't want to ruin them, but the first card gets bent to a U. The next card gets bent to a U. We take a bunch of cards, we bend them to the U. By the time we finish with all these cards and bending them into the U, the last card, okay, at the end, is going to only look like this. All it'll look like is this. All the space of all the U's have been taken up. What does this look like? It's a bracket. It's a bracket that goes on the 9, and it's a bracket that goes on the 0. At the same time, you see it even says it. At the same time, when you swear, when you actually swear, it says 5783. 5783! 5783! Well, 78 is a bent over vision of what 19 is all about. 57 and 19 equals the spirit of 76, which equals the spirit of the 5 and 9 birth, E-I-E-I-O, the Einstein theory, in which I'm not going to explain. 59 reflects 41, and 59 reflects Mars. Why? 1010 worlds. So now we have 19 that comes out 3 times. So when we remove the 99 numbers from 57, we actually have only 42 plus 1, because the 1 is to reconnect 1 to 42, or 1 to 24, the 24-hour day of the 19-numbered moon is the way it would work. I have to bend back my cards now. So we spoke about number 19. We spoke about the moon. How? If you really listen now, forget about the 57. Now let's retake the 19 and go from 0 to 19 is 19 is 20. The 0 position counts for an area of 1. 0 equals 1, 1 equals 1. Why? 1 times 0 equals 0. 1 plus 0 equals 1. Each one is 1 in their own. It's a standing point. It's the same 1. That's why we don't count it. We count it as 0, because 0 is still 1. Now we count 19, then we go to 60. From 60 to 79 is 20. Why? Because we count the O in the 60. So that's 20. Okay? If we actually, excuse me, let me redo this. Because 19 exists 3 times, 3 times 19 is 57, plus the 0 each time is 60. F-O-U-R equals 60 seconds. 4 by 15, O-O-O, and O equals 67. Why O-O and O-O? Is because when you have 4 areas, the 1 area and the 10 area, if I say 8 and 6 is 14, it's only 5. Those 2 go here. If I say 8 and 6 is 14 on this side, it goes here. It becomes 5 and 5. There'd be 1 number for each side. 20, 40, 60 is what you actually are using starting at 0. If you end up not at 0, if you end up at 0 at the end, then you end up using the 00 for 100. But we won't do that. We're just going to say 60, and now there's not 40 left, because 40 will make 100. There's only 39 left. 39, 13, 13, 13, that was first created out of 19, 19, 19, is 32, 32, 32, equals to 96, or 23, 23, 23 equals to 69, 79, 89, 27 is the difference. 3 by 3 by 3, which makes the difference. 3 by the 19 equals to the 57. 3 by 18 equals to the 54. 3 by 17 equals to the 51. 5 and 1 is 6. 3 by 18, 5 and 4 is 9. 3 by 19 is 57. 7 and 5 is 12. 3, it ends up to say 3. So it ends up to say 51 is 6. 18 is 54. 6, 9, and 3 is the answer. Now, every single number that you'll ever talk about in your entire life, between 1 and 9, when multiplied by 3, will always equal to one of 3 answers. Add the 3 to it, and you'll see what you get. Choose any number. You're choosing 7. Very good. Good number to choose. And you chose 5. Okay, I'll do 7 and 5. The stop sign and the hexagon Magen David. 3 times 7 is 21. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 and 3 is 6. 3 times 5 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. That's all it does. 3 times 4 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. How about if you go 3 times 4 is 12, plus 3 is 15, 1 and 5 is 6. That's what 6 does. 4 turns it around in a circle. 4 times 6 is 24, 2 and 4 is 6. But the numbers that do not, 4 is use 4 against 1, use 4 against 2, use 4 against 4, use 4 against 5 is a little different, use 4 against 7, use 4 against 8. 4 by 8 is 32, 3 and 2 is 5. Okay? Because when I use 4 against 3, 6 and 9, 4 by 3 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3. 4 by 6 is 24, 2 and 4 is 6. 4 by 9 is 36, 3 and 6 is 9. 3 and 4 make every 3, 4 on 3, 6, 9 will make everything come back to 3, 6, and 9. The same as multiply anything by 3 will bring everything back to 3, 6, and 9. So we're going to take out 2 numbers. Instead of having 9 numbers, we only have 7 numbers. The 9 is your birth, the 6 is the man of who you are, and the 3 is your creation. So remove that. 3 and 4, and 3, 6, and 9. 3 and 4 create the moon, 6 and 9 create the sun. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 5 is 45 equals Jupiter and the sun. 9 times 6 equals to the sun. So now we're going to go 4 times 4. How did we do that again? You're going to have to revert it back. I don't know what I said. 1 equals the moon, 1 equals the sun. I have to rewind this video and take a look and listen for what my expression was. 3 times any number will be 3, 6, and 9, and 4 times any number, like 4 by 3 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3. 4 by 6 is 24, 2 and 4 is 6. 4 by 9 is 36, 3 and 6 is 9. 9 is the birth of the child. 6 is the man that becomes from the birth, and 3 is the creation. That's why it's man, earth, moon, and sun, for those 3 reasons right there. If you didn't understand, ask me again. I'll look over my own cassette and I'll tell you. But like I said, any number multiplied by 3 will be 3, 6, and 9. This is the mathematics of pi, when pi comes in. The other thing about pi, if you want to read pi, what you have to do to pi to read it is either A, bring it into the 7, 10, and 13 world. 13 worlds, you might want to use 2 numbers in an addition. Or if you want to bring it to the 13 world, multiply every single number by 3. The minimum you will have is 3. The maximum you will have is 10. 10, where the 0 is in effect having a value at a minimum of 1. We'll say 2. But bringing 0, let me think of this again. Bringing the numbers into the 13 world from pi, what you can also do is, let's say it's a number 2. So 2 to the 7 world is 5. 5 to the 10 world is 5. And at the 10 world to the 13 world is 3. So you're always going to come up. The minute you hit the 7 worlds, what you needed from 3 into the 7 world is 4. Okay? So now that you use 4, 4 into the 10 world is 6. So now you have 6. 6 into the 13 world is 7. So now you have 4, 6, 7. And it's always going to be different. So did we follow that? You see, I see it myself, and I'm afraid somebody won't see it. Anyways, Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. I want to thank you for watching this video. I'm looking for my keyboard in the wrong spot. There's so many ways to do different things. See where it comes over 7x? See where it becomes M? See the butterfly, the bow tie over here? What is that bow tie, and what is this gland over here, the thyroid gland? Is it real or it's not? But these are just connected. All I did is draw a line from here to here. Then I draw a line from here to here. And all of a sudden I got two lines and an X up here. If you can see, this line to this line goes to this line. This is what it looks like bigger. Each one of these star systems is worth 20, 20, 20, 20. They're feeder systems. Do you notice the way it becomes below or above? You can't cut your heart in half, so things have to be below and above. When you're sewing things together, there's an overlap to it. So one of them overlapped the other one, or did they equally overlap? Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus, just putting some things together. Wow, is it really 8 o'clock in the morning? I'm going to go up for breakfast. The weather is horrible. The 8th day of the 12th month is the number to Hoover Dam. It's getting cold all over the place, and last year and the year before in 2011 I made a video that if anything happens it's got to be in the cold. Why? It slows down the rush somehow. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. Donna, you were right. News Radio, New Hampshire, absolutely 4 parts in a day. No question about it. If I didn't explain it properly once, I'll go over it and crunch it. Because when you're turning something around, you turn one at a time. So turning one at a time, needing 4 to turn it around, we'll take 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back to the beginning. 5. Started at 1, continued on 4, ended up at 5. 1, 4, 5, the way to talk about pianos. Oh yeah, somebody talked to me yesterday about piano notes and stuff, and I went, what? Because it made so much sense. Oh, it makes so much sense. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. I've been told to close my eyes, but instead I'll end this video. Thank you for watching.